So I think this is going to be short and sweet. I don't have too much to say in this video. I did also start a vlog this week, which obviously I haven't posted yet. But I'm starting the vlog of reading until I find a 5-star, because I noticed after I filmed my last video that I haven't had a 5-star since June of this year. So I feel like it's been a long time coming. Having said that, I started the vlog right when I was in the middle of reading this book, which is My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. It's my first read of his, and I really enjoyed this. This was almost a 5-star. So I started that vlog, and then I even say in the vlog, which I haven't posted, I'm spoiling it for you guys, but don't worry, I have not found a 5-star. So it might go on for like 6 months before I even post the video. I said this could be a 5-star and the video might end super quick, but it was a 4.5. I just cannot quite give it a 5-star, and I'm not doing that on purpose. I like this book, I really did. It kind of surprised me at the end, because it made me feel things that I didn't realize I was going to feel. It actually was really poignant at the end and very emotional, very sweet. I just really liked it, and I think ultimately it was the friendship that I kind of fell in love with and why I'm giving it such a high rating. But I can't give it a 5-star because I do feel like there were parts of the story that kind of fell off a cliff a little bit for me. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who wants to read it, so I definitely would recommend, but there are parts where I would have preferred them not being in the story. Actually, there's really just one scenario to do with an animal, and I just did not enjoy that being in the book. So if you read the book, you will know what I mean. But I really enjoyed the weird crap that started happening to her friends, and it was so bizarre in some cases. I was really hoping that the book would push it even further, but it didn't. I feel like the book could have gone even weirder, and it didn't. And I was really hoping that the exorcism at the end was just a little bit more, and it wasn't. So that's why I didn't give it a 5-star, but thoroughly enjoyed it. 4.5. I did give it 5-star on Goodreads, so you could potentially say that it's a 5-star, but for me, it's not really truly a 5-star. So I did finish reading this obviously this week, and I was very pumped and pleased. And because I started doing that vlog where I want to read a 5-star, the 2 books that I had started, which I don't even think I have in front of me, but it's like Mistress of Lies, and the other one is called The Whispering. I have them on my bedside table, but I have not touched them since last week because I don't think either one of them are going to be a 5-star, just in terms of what I've read so far. I think The Whistling potentially could be like a 4-star, but it would have to really be something weird for me to get it to a 5-star. And The Mistress of Lies, I just think I'm going to DNF it. I don't have a good opinion about it, but I've only read the first chapter, so I might be judging it too quickly, but I am learning my taste, and I don't know, I'm kind of judging, but also based on my instincts, so I think I have to sort of trust that a little bit. So I wanted to pick up a book that I felt like maybe potentially could be a 5-star, so I started reading The Nesting, which actually has a very similar vibe to The Whistling or The Whispering. Oh, I can't keep up with all of these books. So both of them are about a girl who ends up being an au pair, or basically a nanny. In The Whispering, it's in the 19th century, so it's a little bit like back in the day, obviously, quite a bit. And it's just a different vibe, but it's very like gothic-like, and I really enjoyed what I read so far, so I definitely will go back to that. This one is set in more in modern times, and it's about a girl who basically pretends to be someone else to get this job, and that's based in Norway. She actually is writing a book that's based in Norway, so she already has that interest. And when you go into this story, you straight away are confronted with like a scenario of where she is. She's in a really bad place mentally, and she tries to unalive herself and everything like that. So there's already like a real darkness to the actual character itself, and I don't know, maybe that just drew me in a little bit more. And so I'm actually halfway through this one. Weird things are happening, but nothing weird has ultimately truly happened. But we do know, like from right at the beginning of the book, that the reason she's a nanny to these two girls is because their mother, something happened to their mother. And we're told that she took her own life and jumped off a cliff. But, you know, whether that's the case or not, who knows? Who knows? So anyway, I'm on page 180 and it's got about like 400 pages. So just under halfway through. I'm enjoying it. I don't think it's going to be a 5-star though, but I am enjoying it. It's definitely cold, and this week has gotten... It's very like sunny, and so the weather is really beautiful, but the air is very crisp. Like we actually finally have that winter air that you expect to see, obviously, maybe even sooner depending on where you live in the world. So the fact that I'm reading a book that's based in like a really cold climate at the moment, there's talks of snow and things like that. It's fitting, and I you know, I could have picked up another horror book because I'm posting this, you know, and I'm reading this right before Halloween, but I think, you know, this still fulfills the vibe for me in terms of like what I want to feel right now, and I'm trying to still follow the mood reader in me because I think that's ultimately what I am. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I don't know if it's going to be a 5-star though. I don't know what would need to happen to make it a 5-star, because this is ultimately not a super original story, because you know, oh, you know, there's a nanny, something's gonna go wrong, the kids are seeing stuff, you know, it's always the kids, they see stuff, and then there's always a nanny, and then you're kind of suspecting, is it the father, is it the housemaid, is it who, you know, the friends, you know, who can you trust? And so it's kind of like that thriller mystery vibe, but with like a spookiness to it. And there's talks of, you know, the Norwegian wildlife taking back what's theirs, because the father's basically ruining nature because he's building these houses and he's an architect, and it just doesn't align with the nature of things, which is kind of interesting. And I think this is based on a Norse mythology. I'm not entirely sure which one, but I think there is, like, there's talks of an elk, a mysterious elk. We keep seeing the hooves of, but we haven't actually seen the elk. Anyway, I'm enjoying the vibes, but I think maybe I like really weird books, and I think if it got really, really weird and bizarre, then maybe I would give it a 5-star. If it just carries on the way it is, it's probably ultimately going to be a 4-star. So I don't really know what I'm going to read after this. If you have any recommendations for like weird, spooky books, because I really loved Bunny, and I really liked My Best Friend's Exorcism, but I guess for a different reason, because I was going to give that probably just a 4-star, but because I actually was crying at the end of that, because I thought the friendship ultimately was very real and sweet. I really liked how that was written, and honestly, for a man to write about teenage girls and for it to be written really well, kudos to Grady Hendrix. I mean, I don't know how he did that. I don't think I could write a book about, you know, boys and their teenage angst and things like that. I just don't, and their friendships with their friends and stuff, because I think when you are a girl, this is just my experience, who knows, but you know, the teenage years are truly difficult, and girls are really nasty. They can be the nastiest people in the world, especially teenage girls. Ooh, they are so nasty, and they are not afraid to tell you how they feel if they don't like you. And so I don't know, being able to like write around that, and for it to kind of ring true. It didn't sound preposterous when I was reading it, or like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I actually thought that was really good. So yeah, maybe I need to pick up more books from him, because obviously I've heard the author's name before, and he is, to my knowledge, well liked, so maybe I could just read more from him, because I thought the writing was really, really easy. So anyway, I did get 2 more books. These are just from Fairy Loot. I didn't cancel my Fairy Loot yet. I'm not sure if I'm all that excited about these. I did unbox them in a video that's coming up, but this is Air by Saba Tahir. This is the YA book, because I get a YA and I get an adult, so this is the YA for October. It just, I haven't really looked into the plot, but just from what I've read, it doesn't really sound like much. I don't know, it's really big too. I'm not sure if I'm going to have any interest in reading that. Not anytime soon. I'm really scared of big books at the moment because all the big books just like put me into reading slumps. So I really don't want to read 400, 500, 600 page books at the moment, which is fine because I don't plan to. And then this is the other one that came in. This is Sorcery and Small Magics. This is like a little romantic-y. So I don't know, maybe I'll pick this up if this is, I think this would be more like cozy vibes, and I'm not into cozy vibes at the moment, so I don't know if I'm really interested in reading any of these right now, but I would be more interested in reading the adult book versus the YA, also because it's just smaller. It just feels like it would make a little bit more sense for me. So yeah, if you have any recommendations for like some weird absurd books, I think maybe I just like absurdity. It doesn't have to, like, not gory or graphic, or it could have that. It could have like gory or horror elements to it, but just like bizarre scenarios or bizarre situations. Because I tell you what, there is a scene in this book that I was like, is this really happening, or is she hallucinating? Is this and also there's like this underlining thing, like you don't even know if really any of this happened or it was just like all in her head. You could interpret this whole story like that in a way, just to do with like teenage girls and whatever they make up in their heads and stuff, but I don't take it that way. Anyway, there's this really weird scene in here where it's to do with tapeworm, and it's just, if you've read the book, you've read the book. If you haven't, read the book. It is so bizarre. But yeah, I read this super quickly. It only took me like 2-3 days maybe, and that was just like nothing. Yeah, I'm looking at the books that I pulled for this season, and I don't think I want to read any of these, because I think these two are going to give me also cozy vibes. And I mean, maybe not this one, I don't know, there's just something about it where it says exciting, deeply wise, brutal, sad, compassionate, all at once. I mean, maybe I should read this. After years of seeing her sister suffer at the hands of an abusive prince, Mara, the shy, convent-raised third-born daughter, has finally realized that no one is coming to their rescue, no one except for Mara herself. I just don't know if I want to read something like this. And then this is definitely like cozy fantasy with a little bit of romance to it. And I've got Ninth House, which maybe this is weird. I mean, people like Leigh Bardugo. I haven't read anything, so maybe this would be, maybe this actually would be weird enough for me to go into. I don't know. I think it's just like secret society. Yeah, secret societies. And there's a dead girl on campus. Alex is the only one person willing to look deeper because societies are far more sinister and extraordinary than anyone ever imagined. They tamper with forbidden magic, they raise the dead, and sometimes they prey on the living. I do like situations, or like books, not situations, but I have read a few books where there's been talk about raising the dead. And I have to say I kind of like that concept or like theme or idea. So maybe I should read this. And obviously there's the second one, and I think there's going to be a third one. I think it's a trilogy. So it'd be good to know if I like it. I think I read the first page though, and I really wasn't into it. By the time Alex managed to get the blood out of the good wool coat, it was too warm to wear. Spring had come on grungily. Okay, maybe I should read this. You know what? Maybe I should. I've been putting this off because a part of me thinks I will hate it. A part of me thinks I might enjoy it like the other half of people. Like I do see a division between people who don't like this and people who do. Ooh. Yeah, maybe I'll read this one. Maybe it will be weird enough that I will enjoy it. If it's just about secret societies and not really much else, I might not. But I don't know. Let's see. I'll go for it. Why not? I'm in the mood for more of this type of stuff, so I'm going to do that. But yeah, that's my update for this week. Not really much has been going on. I've been working a lot. I've also been playing a lot of games as well. I've just been trying to, if I want to do something, I'm just going to do it. And also, I have to be honest with you, for like the most of September, my dog was very, very, very ill, and I was deeply, deeply miserable and depressed. I have felt my shoulders, like the weight on my shoulders been lifted this last month. And so I have been reading less because I've been, what I was doing in September was going to bed super early, lying with my dog every night, reading, or just like cuddling him, because we didn't know, you know, if he was gonna make it or anything. It was like really touch and go for a good few weeks. And so, you know, knock on wood, I'll do it, he is so much better now. And you know, he's still old, so we still have to like make sure he's okay and everything, but it's like night and day. So I feel less guilty about not hanging out with him in the evenings, but because I'm not hanging out with him in the evenings, I'm not reading as much, and I'm actually gaming and playing a little bit of games. So I have been doing that a little bit more this month, and I think that's why my readings dropped down only slightly, but not too much really. I mean, I've read so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books, and we're at the end of the month. Yeah, maybe that's not so good. I don't know, but some, like, it's all relative. Some people only read 1 or 2. Some people read 20, 30 books. I don't know how that happens, but I just, you know, I don't know. Usually 10 or under is where I sit, and I think 6 or 5. What did I say? 5? 5 is fine. It's fine. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you have any recommendations, let me know. If you read Ninth House, let me know as well. I know a lot of people love this, but also a lot of people don't, so I don't know who to believe. I mean, because I don't know where I fall between that. So the only way to know is for me to read it. So I'm going to be reading it, and we will see. So yeah, thanks so much, and I will see you all next time I'll do my October wrap up in my next video. So I will see you then. Bye.